But my phone's not on silent yet. Got to turn my phone off. We all know my family loves to call during this hour that we're going to hang out. I have lots of you here. Hi, everybody. I have makeup expert. Good to have you tonight. Tammy, welcome into the room. Alicia, welcome into the room. Josephine, hi. Happy to have you. Anna from Missouri. Hi, Anna. I have Karen Reed, who's joined the chat. Oh, it feels so great to be back and hanging out. I feel like I've been gone for a long time. Tonight's going to be a success if I don't catch my ponytail on fire, because I got a candle right off to my left. So if you could all watch for me and let me know if like a huge plume of smoke starts and the ponytail's on fire. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. It's a good show tonight, something that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet. So I'm very, very excited to get into the show and visit with everyone. But we know what we do. Hi, Valley Chowder. We start by just visiting a few minutes. We wait for everyone to join. Something else I've noticed, and I called this out to the team last week, at the end of my shows, like once I go like a minute past the hour, I have a bunch of people that are joining. So I feel like maybe some people aren't getting the time change thing. But hi, Wise Fruit. Nice to see you as well. I'm very, very, very excited to be with everybody tonight. There's a few things that are really on sale. But overall, we're going to spend a few minutes and just let everybody join and say hello. And I am so grateful for the internet today. I'm grateful for the internet on a lot of days, but today especially, because I got to go back and watch a show that Suzanne did about lessening the toxic burden. That woman, we all love her. She is such a wealth of knowledge. I watched the show a couple of times and I was like feverishly jotting down page after page after page of notes and just thinking, thank God for the internet and YouTube and her videos, and they continue to live on so that we can continue to learn from her. Because today I could not believe, I kept writing and writing and writing and thinking, like, I'm in awe still of how much she's taught us throughout the years. And then I love that her legacy has been passed on. Hi, Janice. Good to have you join the room. Lots of you. Hi, Karen. Happy to have you. This is awesome. Hey, did you guys all have a good holiday weekend? Let me know what everyone did. I know that there was tons of, oh, Janice, your emojis are so cute. Hi from Michigan. Good to see you. Hi, Andrea. Welcome to the room. I had a very eventful holiday weekend. Hi, Maria. Good to have you. My parents rent a cabin once or twice a year, and my dad pays for it. And all of us siblings show up like we're 12 again, and all of our kids go, and all of their kids go. So we've got like multiple generations. And Tammy, my weekend was great. I'm just covering it right now. Thank you for asking. And Annie, yes, Suzanne was so knowledgeable and so incredibly full of wisdom. But so my dad rented this cabin. Usually we do it on water. And this time, this cabin was so outstanding that we were like, you know what? We're not going to do it on the water. But this cabin was insane. Like, it had an indoor swimming pool. Crazy. It had a hot tub. It had an arcade. It had these big dining tables that faced each other. It had fireplaces. And what we do is we sit and we play games and we visit, and everything was going great. We were all like, all of us would put eyes on certain kids and hold on to that and just like watch all the kids very closely. And everything was great. Hi, Linda, welcome. Until it wasn't. One of the kids looked outside the window and saw a snake. And not a small snake, not like a little tiny snake, not a snake this big, not a snake this big. I am telling you, this big, and it was tangled with another snake this big. And from that point on, we were all high stepping. Like, do you remember the Grinch, when the Grinch would get into the homes and he was like high stepping around? We were high stepping. And my sister's husband, my sister Abby, her husband Steve works with the DNR and works like out in trees and all of that. And this was his moment. And Steve was like, I got it. And we were all like nose up against the window. Could not believe the size. Karen, Kind Bisque, suitcases were getting packed. My grandson, Jagger, was hugged on me. Like, I didn't even need hands. I could let my hands go, and Jagger was hugged on me, begging to come to my house. And like, my little house sounded pretty darn good at that time. But long story short, I don't know. I wonder if I can show you. I think I can. I've got a video on my phone of Steve, the snake handler. You guys, he went up to that snake, did a little like, ooh, snake romance season. Really, Anne? Okay, that explains a lot. Karen, the first one was black. The first two that were like this were black. The one the next morning, yes, there was one the next morning, was white and yellow and green. So this is, I promise there's so much to talk about. This is my last like personal story, but you all got to see what Steve did. And you're going to see the screaming. You're going to hear it in the background because all of us were beside ourselves. So the other one went under the house and Mike is trying to get it? You can hear it in the background right now. Here we go. Can you all see my screen? I hope so. Ready? That was the first snake, but it wasn't the last. So yeah, it was a wild weekend. We still had a really wonderful time. We got to play games. We got to, snuggle the grandbabies, snuggle the kids. It's funny because this house had all of these amenities, but yet we found ourselves gathered in the living room in front of the fireplace, just sharing stories and doing what we always do. But it not like this big. Hi. Gosh, so many of you are here. Yeah. My skin felt like it was crawling in. I'm like, Steve came in, he's like, they're harmless. They're more scared of you than they are to me. They're more scared of you than you are of them. And I'm like, I don't know, Steve, if you could take my pulse right now is telling me that I'm pretty damn scared. So I don't know. Relaxing, not as much, but eventful, it always is. So I hope that you all had a really nice holiday weekend. Certainly want to send my appreciation and gratitude out to any service members out there and their families. And that's what the weekend was about. And so definitely, if you are one of them or in your family, definitely want to continue to extend that beyond the weekend. So I'm going to say hi to a few people, and then I'm going to tell you guys about the show tonight. You could tell what I'm most excited about, but there's 3 things in the show, and I'm super excited for all of them. So I know they don't like them. I can't help it. I'm totally blind. I'd rather see a snake instead of a Lone Star tick. Well, guess what? When people came back from a hike, they were covered in ticks too. We had ants, ticks, and snakes. It was a rough weekend. Hi, Quiet Jelly. I'm so happy that you're here. You said that you've been missing the shows. Linda says, I'm pulling my legs up on the chair just thinking about them crawling by. Right outside the arcade, I know I said I'd stop, and I'm going to after this. So there's all these cool games, and I'm talking like pinball, Pac-Man, old school, Walking Dead zombie game. And there was this window well that none of us really thought to look in until we saw the snake. I'm going to put my legs up in the chair when I even tell you this. So we looked in that window well, Garrett, at least like 10 like snake skins in the window well. So that was my experience with nature. I love it from afar. Now I'm going to shake it all off. Let's all shake it off. Let's gently put our feet back on the floor when we see fit. Hi, everyone. It's so awesome. It's so awesome to see you all. Okay, here's what we're doing. First of all, a couple pieces of business. Candles are 60% off right now. They're $19.99. If you've not experienced the candles yet, I'm going to tell you why toxic free is so important in candles. I'm going to do the very best job that I can on educating you. Snake romance. Ooh, you guys. Karen's saying the candles are amazing. They are. And they burn forever. They're soy based. They don't put out the toxic burden in the air. I just want to get that information out quickly because this is incredible. Linda, you ordered 14. Yay. Linda, have you used my coupon code yet? My coupon code is good until the end of this week. If you haven't used it yet, it's Heather15 and you can use it on one purchase and it is an extra 15% off from the sale prices. So I hope that if you've not used it yet, or I hope that you can find a way to use it. I know people have shared stories. But anyways, good to have you all. So I'm grateful for the internet because I got to go back and watch Suzanne talk about toxic burden. And she really got me thinking. She opened her show and she said, the toxic burden is everywhere. And like Suzanne did, not only did she talk about it, but then she went on to explain from the time we wake up in the morning, the air freshener that we're spraying in the room, the candles that we're lighting to try to freshen the air, the cleaners that we're using on our countertops. She went into a story about diet sodas. This is something I learned. I had no idea. The diet sodas that have aspartame in them. Speaking of ants were in my daughter's room with Coco and Cash and Ford. She said that aspartame was originally designed as an ant poison. So when we look at our toxic burden, it really is hitting us from everywhere. And after continuing to learn and continuing to research and do the things that I've been doing since spending almost the last 3 months with all of you, I asked the team about some things that I haven't seen yet that I didn't have a chance to share with you. And then if there were big sales, I wanted to circle back to one of my favorite products, which is the candles. And Gummy Drops is saying they burn longer with a candle warmer lamp. Great tip. That's going to be on my list because I want them to burn as long as possible. They're so clean burning. But with that, towards the end of the stories, Suzanne went on to say that her goal, and I wrote it down because I want to quote her correctly. Hi, Betty Lou, and hi, Froggy. She said she has worked really, really hard to remove her family's toxic burden, to remove chemicals from her families. And she said, quote, my goal is to get my family and yours completely off chemicals. And I've experienced this with Suzanne. She went on to tell a story about somebody that was working in her yard and how this person that was working in her yard had told her that being on the property felt different. And Suzanne said it's because of the toxic burden. And a quick behind the scenes story, when Suzanne and her family came to our network originally, I remember not only did she talk the talk and walk the walk, but when she came in town, she traveled with her own water, her own lighting, her own flooring, because toxins were in the glue and in the floor. They would cover up all the lights, all the flooring. They replaced all the water. She brought all of her own food, all of her own drinks. When we would make protein shakes and things like that, she was flying in the ingredients to guarantee that they were as clean as possible. And the studio never felt as clean as when she was there. And it was reflected in her. It was reflected in her eyes, her hair, her teeth, her clarity, all of it. So tonight's show is going to be about helping to alleviate some of that toxic burden and helping to transition into a chemical-free space if and when it works for us. So the 3 things that we're going to talk about: the holy grail of cleaners. I have used this multiple times, and I want you to see how much of the bottle is gone. Not much. So you're going to get this bottle. It's concentrate. I'm going to tell you exactly how to use it. If you've got tips or tricks on any of these items or you're currently using them, please jump into the chat. I've got Garrett here with me. He's going to help me kind of filter through the comments so that I can make sure and call them out. And if you've got questions, I'm going to do my best to answer them. So her Eco Cleaner, lightweight citrus scent. I've been using this to clean my outdoor furniture. Spectacular. clean my windows, clean the bathroom, get rid of the ring in the toilet from some of the water stains in the area. The area that I live has very hard water. And even though I've got a water softener, I've still got a lot of mineral. So I used it in a more concentrated form on that mineral. I was shocked at how easily I was able to get rid of that kind of, the rust, like the orange. It really, really, really great product. So we're going to talk about this. Shoot, I knew I was going to forget something. In my bathroom, right on top of the countertop, there's a tube of this, but it's not this brand. Will you grab it? It's the full one. Thank you, Garrett. Guess what I'm asking Garrett to grab? Toothpaste. So I learned a lot about toothpaste as well. She had a show that she and Caroline were doing. Caroline was in Italy. Suzanne was visiting with you guys. Thank you. And something on the back that was mentioned. Nancy is saying the cleaner is great for removing clothing stains. It cleans windows so well. You know what else it cleans really well? Chandeliers, because you can my ADD is off the chart tonight. You can take this and you can spray it while your chandeliers are hanging. And because it is so clean, you put towels underneath them, let it drip dry, do a light mist, and it drips. There is no spots. The house smells amazing. It's got a citrus scent to it. So there's tons and tons and tons of benefits to all of them. So first, I'm going to talk about the candles because they're in front of me. And then I can clear those and we can get into a few of the other things. So candles. My daughter just texted me, little Gabriella. She was here for the holiday weekend. It was so great to see her. Candles, candles, candles. Always the number one seller is the floating gardenia. Suzanne loved gardenias. There's a great backstory about how she gave gardenia, thank you, gardenias for special moments. And so I did not really understand the downside of paraffin waxes. And I knew about petroleum, but I didn't fully understand petroleum to a paraffin wax. And I remember going to my daughter-in-law's home. Sweet Malia, baby Bane is doing very well, by the way. He was born, he's gorgeous. Black hair, blue eyes, looks just like my son, dark skin. So I remember going there and helping her clean one time. And she came out from her bathroom and she's like, I can't figure out why all of my surfaces seem to be clean, but when I wipe them off, my towel is coming out really black. We ended up finding out Malia loves to burn candles and she wasn't burning clean candles. So although when you looked at her surfaces, they didn't look like they had this layer of soot on them, they in fact did. And then we started to research those very, very tiny particles. We started to look into the synthetic fragrances. We started to look into what we were ingesting in those candles. Like me, she also loved the plug into the wall air fresheners. They're hard to give up. I know they smell great. You got to give them up. Well, you don't have to. I don't want to sound bossy. You get to do whatever you want to do. But once I understood ingesting these incredibly fine particles, I've realized that there are other ways for my home to smell clean and smell really clean, not perfume, not like a laundry detergent, but actually clean. This is now one of my favorite ways, and I think it could become yours, and I know it is a lot of your favorite ways to have your home smell great combined with this. So what we've got is a 60% off sale right now on the candles. And they are all cotton wicks. So you're going to see that the wicks also, they should be made of cotton, but a lot of times lead can still be found in them. So if you are burning a candle that has a lead core wick, it will have 5 times the amount of lead that is considered hazardous for your children, and it exceeds EPA pollution standards for outdoor air. So they're fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. As far as favorite scents go, I'm going to go through and I want to do a little description of them, and you guys jump in. Maybe I'll read one off and then let me know in the chat if you have smelled that candle. Annie in Missouri, the rain is the last one I'm going to cover. It actually smells like the clean, wet ground after it rains and everything's kind of warm and steamy. It's so authentic. I thought it was going to be real perfumed and light, but a rain carries, because the humidity kind of locks in all of the scents, that rain kind of carries like this warmth and this weight to it. And that's what this smells like. It's spectacular. The burn time is unmatched. They burn 55.5 hours. They're clean burning. They are a coconut and soy base. They're made in the USA. The glassware is all so pretty. I love that it's all these frosted and kind of like polished. As I've been burning my candles, I've been using my empties to like hold makeup brushes, hold colored pencils, hold colored crayons and things like that. So I've really enjoyed the candles. And I'm going to start over here with the jasmine and tuberose. The ingredients for this scent in particular are so refined. That tuberose scent is something that is like unmistakable, and it smells fresh and light and romantic. And it's soft because it's a floral, but I can't say that it's like airy because there's this presence, like this bold presence to the scent without it being overpowering. I did see that somebody mentioned how much they love the jasmine and the tuberose, and I also spent a couple of hours today on Suzanne's website looking up customer reviews and just reading what you all had to say about all the scents too, because I love to hear your feedback. Yes. Hi. Oh, I'm so happy you're here tonight. Jasmine and tuberose is a beautiful scent. I think of all of them, if you're looking to kind of set the scene, like you're looking for a candlelit, romantic night kind of on connection, the vanilla cream and the tuberose and jasmine, you won't go wrong with any of them. But rain, vanilla cream, and jasmine and tuberose, to me, have this like intoxicating, almost romantic sense of smell. Hi, Sandy. Welcome into the chat. Welcome into the show. So jasmine and tuberose, mwah, top tier. The next one, cinnamon and sugar. This one is warmth. It smells like if you've done a cinnamon latte or a cinnamon cocoa, it is not like a synthetic cinnamon. It's the cinnamon that you grate. You know, like if you're somebody that is great in the kitchen and you're grating that cinnamon, you feel like the oils from the cinnamon kind of release, and then it hits the warm coffee. I love it. So this one's a cinnamon and sugar. Oh, Garrett, thank you for pinning all these. How do you use a candle cutting wick, etc.? You know, that's a very good question. And if I could answer it based on a fancy tool, I would. However, I pride myself. I've always said I'm very transparent. What I do is, and Garrett, you've got a lighter, right? Okay. So I'm going to blow this one out and I'm going to show you something. So you can see some smoke releasing, right? Hopefully, what I do is, do you see the bulb at the top? So I wait for my candle to cool, and then I just take a little stainless steel scissors on like a little, like, you know how you get those curved scissors that you can trim your eyebrows with or trim your nose hair or trim whatever you need to trim. I take one of those and I just clip that little bulbous end off. I know that there's fancy like wick cutting things. I'm going to be direct and honest, and I don't have one of them. So, but what I do is clip them. You guys all know how to clip. I don't need to grab a scissors because I couldn't get up and grab a scissors. I'd be sending Garrett to grab a scissors again. And Garrett's so darn sweet. He's sitting over there with a big smile on his face. Oh, Linda says she ordered cinnamon sugar for a Christmas gift with a matching hand cream. Nice. I want to be on your Christmas list. Now I'm going to relight this. This is the lemon verbena. I'm always paranoid to say that word because I always say it wrong. And when I'm on the air, people are constantly correcting me. And I've tried to learn how to say it, but my Minnesota comes out real strong when I say it. I'm going to move that over there so I don't catch my ponytail on fire. Peppermint cream. This one is clean. Do you remember maybe when you were a little girl or a young man, did you ever use the peppermint lip balms and you would put them on, and they were, at that time, back in that day, everything was naturally made with like real sugars, and you'd like lick your lips and they tasted so good. old memory unlocked when I smelled this one. It smells like peppermint without being spicy. So I really pick up the vanilla and the cream. And if you are a pink girl or a pink guy, you are going to love, 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 love this. I think that the pink, like, look how cute the pink and the green look together. The chocolate and the pink, I always love to theme my gifts and wrap them in kind of color coordinating. But the peppermint cream smells really fresh and minty and vanilla, and it smells like a sweet peppermint drink without being too spicy. Because mint, I feel like mint, spearmint, and peppermint can go medicinal pretty easily, like a sports cream. And with this one, that cream, the vanilla and the warmth to it, like really changes that. So I like that a lot. Oh no. Yes, Bonneville peppermint balm. That's exactly what it is. You would like slide. Yes. Oh, I love talking to you guys. You're so fun. Josephine says, my daughter caught her hair on fire with a Suzanne comb. I hope you were here at the beginning because I said whipping my ponytail around tonight. Please all let me know if my ponytail light's on fire. Okay. Feel free to correct me in the comments. Lemon verbena. Verbena. Am I saying it right? Somebody says, I pinch the used part with my nails holding a tissue. Karen, that's a great idea for clipping it off. Great idea. And then a couple people are jumping in and saying, Karen, we do the same thing. Thank you for that tip. This is so fun to visit with all of you. So this one is going to be lemon lime. It's the one that I'm burning right now. And it's not a lemon lime like car freshener or air freshener. It's when you like squeeze or when you rub your thumb on a lemon or a lime and then the oils release from the skin. That's how it smells. Cleaner than clean and bright and citrusy and just incredible. David, I'm glad you could make it. Hi, David in Detroit. Good to have you tonight. Thanks for joining us. David, if you missed the top of the show, the candles are 60% off. My coupon code is still in play. Bonbon55, hi. Great to have you. I'm so happy to have you here tonight. Heather15 is still in play if you've not used it yet or if you can find a way to use it again. Okay, vanilla cream. Essential oils of vanilla. Now, there's a difference between synthetic vanilla fragrance, which is used in most candles and most body products today, and using essential vanilla oils. They smell different. A synthetic vanilla, like a synthetic fragrance of vanilla, will smell very sugar cookie. Like, it doesn't smell like straight vanilla. It smells just sweet. In this candle, you pick up like the bean, like the Madagascar vanilla bean, or if you love a good ice cream. Remember my mom and my grandma actually had ice cream makers. We used to get to make ice cream, and the vanilla is decadent. It smells like when you would eat that ice cream and you'd actually see all the little speckles. Yes. So this one's vanilla. Also, I'm going to keep it very family friendly. But when I was talking about scents that you may want to like light in romantic situations or in situations that you just want to feel really cozy and intimate and connected, vanilla is the number one aphrodisiac. It is the most memory evoking scent, and it is the scent that is most closely connected and related to attraction and comfort. And if you're selling your home, a good friend of mine is a realtor. He says, always light a vanilla candle or make it smell like you've just baked something. And definitely not baking here. Cooking with the balsamic vinegars and oils and seasonings is about as far as I've gotten. Baking for me is still kind of tragic. But that's what it smells like. And yes, Betty, this is great. It's a great deal for the candles. Lillian, hi, I'm so happy. Tammy, great deal on the candles. Do you empty the used candle liquid? I do, Josephine. I don't empty it right away. I kind of let it burn down. And then if you find that it's kind of puddling and pooling, which honestly, these are clean burning. And that's another benefit of using the coconut and the soy is a lot of times with some of the synthetics, they'll burn to the core and you still got the paraffin on the outsides, but these burn relatively evenly. And then what I'll do once they've burned all the way to the base is I'll take them and I'll put boiling water in them. And I will allow that water to release the rest of it. And then I was using like a detergent. I will now use this to help release it and then dump it out, clean them, and then I use them for other things. Okay, we've got the floating gardenia. this was Suzanne's favorite, and it has a really special meaning. I don't want to be redundant in telling the same stories over and over, but at the top I was sharing that Suzanne did give gardenias for special family moments, and the smell of gardenia is just unmistakable. I think it embodies everything that's feminine and beautiful and light, and it's just gorgeous. Can you get the 15% on top of the 60%? Yes, Betty, you can. You can use Heather 15 for 15% off. I have been told that it's a one-time use and that you cannot reuse it. Other folks here have been sharing all kinds of tips and tricks around that. So yes, you can get another 15% off from the 60%. So yeah, and I believe it's on a purchase, like a bundle. So yes, you can. Thank you for asking that. And then last but certainly not least is the rain. And this one is just warmth. And it's described as a clean, crisp, ethereal scent of a fresh rain shower. And it smells warm, but it doesn't smell spicy. And usually when you think of warmth, my mind goes to a gourmand, which is like a sweet scent. And I think of all of the spices. And this one doesn't have any spice. It's just warmth and comfort. Annie says, my mom's favorite scent was gardenia, like Suzanne, and they were both Libras. Good to know. Betty says, how long is the sale for? I believe the sale is good through the end of the week, Betty. So I believe it's good through the end of the week. I don't have access to the quantities of each amount that's available, but I do know that all of them are in stock. And the last time that we spoke about candles, I didn't have the full variety. So I was really excited tonight. And I will be buying candles tonight because it's like once you experience these, it's going to be hard to go back to any other brand. And I'm a candle girl. I've always loved them, but these are fabulous. Somebody says, hold on, what do we got? Bonbon. I ordered 3 rain, vanilla, and a lemon. You know what else would be fun? Like I can imagine burning a lemon and a vanilla and like starting to kind of mix. Like rain would mix really beautifully with jasmine. Rain would mix really beautifully with gardenia if you like to kind of layer scents. Rain is like crisp sheets. It is. Rain smells. This is the one that I've struggled the most. It's almost like I'm picking up kind of like like an apricot. Garrett, smell that and tell me what you think. And I can look online too to see if there's a better description. I had so many things to look up. I spent hours today. Yeah. Do you smell like almost like an apricot? Yeah. Whew, it's good. So they're 60% off. They're $19.99. They literally last forever. They're made in the USA. They clean burn. They burn 55.5 hours. And they're spectacular. And if you've got any questions, fire away. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you want to hear from somebody other than me, I would encourage you to look on the website and just read the reviews. All of them have so many great customer choice reviews. Rain is a nice scent for the body wash. Yes. Yeah, good idea, Betty. I agree with you. I love it. All right, now I'm going to move the candles out of the way. Thank you. Thank you. I got to leave a couple of them because they're so pretty. And we are going to talk toothpaste because here's my lipstick, by the way. What am I wearing tonight? Do you cut after each use? I don't, Josephine. I let them burn for a little while. Once it's a longer wick, and if it's got a predominantly black bulbous edge, that's what I snip off. I don't snip them too short. You also don't want them to go too long, but I don't cut them after every use. You can all join in on that. Yep, Berry Pop. That wasn't supposed to be out. That's what I used right before I went live. All right. The next thing, and I did take some notes tonight because toothpaste. Now that you've got your candles burning, your body's all scrubbed down, you got a good smelling lotion on, your loved one is coming over, maybe you're your loved one and you're like, you know what, I'm all about self-love and I'm going to just cozy in and read a good book. We still want to have fresh breath. And there's only so much that I can say about fluoride. And I watched several shows about it. And there was one in particular where Suzanne was about ready to go down and talk about it. And someone stopped her and said, I love this. I want to hear that. But the AMA, which is the American Medical Association, does not like that. And for those of you that don't know this, when you are selling products, so when you're selling something, it's considered an advertisement. And there are different ways that it's governed. And that's good because it's for safety. We don't want anything misrepresented, and we want to feel good about the education that we're getting. And so, like, if you're watching a Today Show and somebody is out and they're mentioning things, that's entertainment. So in entertainment, you can just talk because it's not sales. Sales is governed by an FTC. So sales is a completely different genre. And so we have regulations. We certainly did on television in the home shopping world. We do on the internet, and everybody is supposed to abide by those governed rules. And so for that reason, I like to explain the why. For that reason, there's only so much that I am allowed to say about fluoride, but I am allowed to show you some labels. And in Suzanne's book, Breakthrough, she does a very eye-opening and very educational write-up on fluoride. And Suzanne had very strong feelings about it. And I know a lot of you do as well. So her toothpaste is the best. Sweet Toffee says, I didn't think you'd come back. You thought you'd get rid of me that easy, Sweet Toffee? Fresh shrimp, her taste is great. It smells fantastic. It's super refreshing. Yes, right now, nurse is joining in. She's saying, unfortunately, the FDA allows a percentage of fluoride in toothpastes and mouthwashes. So I'm not going to show this brand. Okay. And I'm even going to cover up the manufacturer. And let me know. And Garrett, is this coming up backwards or can you read it? Okay. There's going to be a little write-up with instructions on what you should do if you get too much fluoride in your mouth, or if somebody brushing their teeth under the age of 6 ingests and swallows fluoride. Here, let me hold it still. If you've got any old toothpaste around, grab it or go online and just read it. Lillian, I didn't know it either. And I'm embarrassed I didn't. Really embarrassed, actually, because in my years on TV, I sold so many like teeth whitening kits, tons of chemicals. I sold so many I sold so many things, not a lot of toothpaste, but different things like that. And that's one of those things that I don't know. I felt like, because when I've gone to the dentist, everything I've read and everything that I've seen, or the things that I've been told, were that it's a good thing. And then to read that, I was so grateful. Again, grateful for the internet. That's how I started this hour, by saying this was an incredible experience. So there are no harsh abrasions in this. Just like we want to watch our skin mantle and our microbiome and our gut and that microbiome and the flora, the good, the bad, we also want to protect our enamel and our mantle. It is fluoride free. It is sulfate free. And it does not have any of those health warnings. It is sweetened with xylitol, low glycemic and dentist favorite sweetener, certified toxic free, beyond just natural marketing. And then the stabilized oxygen is very interesting, because this is actually going to help to trigger the whitening and the brightening. And if you've ever used a mouthwash that has an oxygen, or even like a face mask that kind of bubbles with oxygen, you know that clean feeling. And oxygen in this particular, like in this toothpaste, it tastes fantastic. It freshens your breath. It feels really good when you're brushing your tongue, and your mouth feels so clean. It's almost like you can feel the oxygen, like the bubbling in there. And I have loved the experience of this. And I like to really get in there and brush, and then get the water and swish around. Ultra purified water, charcoal filtration, reverse osmosis, deionization, clean formulation and quality. Real peppermint oil is used in it. So real peppermint oil also tastes long-lasting, not full of synthetics. And then calcium carbonate and silica, naturally derived polishing materials that clean effectively while remaining gentle on the enamel. And, there are things again, I wish that I could say so much more about this. Even the queen herself was only allowed to say so much. And I do want to ask all of you, I wonder if it would be okay to use with dentures. That is a very good question. Oh, wow. This is great. Okay. I have to say, Al, or whoever has the books in the backgrounds is a little much. The backgrounds here, like my books or this one, I did that because I love the books and I thought that they were awesome books. That one is my favorite. I'm too young for this. I think it's a great book. But there's a book called Breakthrough. And in that book, I've not read that one, but I did see an excerpt about it because I was online searching about the fluoride thing. And in that book, she addresses and talks about that. So that is a great book if you want to learn a little bit more of that. And that kind of, I don't know, that kind of wraps up the toothpaste. I don't know how long we talk about toothpaste, but I feel really good about this. I'm going to feel good about it for my kids. I'm going to feel good about it for everybody in the family. Nutty Pumpkin, you're so sweet. You said if it's you, then I apologize. That's okay. You don't have to apologize. It's funny because when Suzanne came to the network, she really enjoyed her spaces and she put so much focus and so much energy in not only having them feel and be clean and toxic free, but also feel inviting and welcoming and warm. And I just remember being on set with her and it felt warm and inviting. And I have tried to do the same thing here. So, but you don't have to apologize. That's okay. Not at all. It's not for everybody. And these are some great books. Ageless is great. And I'm too young for this. If you've not read that one, Chef's Kiss, it's great. So, okay, what are we saying? I'm reading A New Way to Age. It's so informative. Yes, it is. What is the ad? Okay, Froggy says, I've had dentures and I've been using the toothpaste for over a year and so far it's been fine. Good. I'm so happy. So there's ads down here and the reason that those are down there is because you can click on them and they'll directly help you order the product immediately. So it was added as a benefit because when we used to do chats on social media, you couldn't buy directly, I guess, and you would have to take multiple steps. And so this was actually added on behalf of the company to make it a click purchase. And then I guess that it's an easier purchase process. So when she did her shows on Facebook, she made it feel very warm. She sure did. And it's great. Like her presence in person too was so incredibly down to earth and gracious and kind. And having you all in my home, I've tried to kind of make the same. I don't know. I kind of wanted it to feel the same for all of you. So that's why there's books and that's why I light a candle. And I'm very big on lighting. Let me know if you are like people. I feel like people are either really affected by their surroundings or they're not. When I am in chaos, my brain is chaos. I really struggle to focus. But when I have like an organized, calm environment, I feel different. My nervous system regulates differently. I communicate differently. And I take this job and this opportunity very seriously. So I want to make sure that I do feel like my best and I feel like I can show up for you all and be my best. So thank you for understanding that I just love I love a good pretty setting just like she did. Oh, yeah, Linda. It's nice to have her stories to keep her with us. I agree. Yeah. Betty, thank you. I appreciate that. Froggy, you like the little heart lamp? Thank you. So good. Please understand we're grieving the loss. Oh, goodness, yes. Oh, you know what? I do understand. Nutty Pumpkin, when I first started, I came in and it was such a big time of transition and change. The format changed, the place to shop changed, the face in front of you changed, and change is hard. And I've received so many kind messages. I've read lots of messages that weren't kind, and I definitely, you know, um, had my own little process of that. I've received kind messages from her family members that really helped as well. So change is hard, and I don't judge anybody for acclimating to change, especially when somebody comes into your home like that and feeling part of her family and being part of her family and her daughter-in-law and the granddaughters and everything. It's such an incredible opportunity. So I've done my best to maintain that. It's always been very important to hold on to that legacy and share in a way that I feel is authentic, while also acclimating to the change. So, anyways, I'm going to keep the show moving. Thank you guys. I really, really love and appreciate all the feedback. Personally, I think you're doing a wonderful job. Oh, thank you, Nancy. That means the world to me. It really, really does. Thank you so much. Okay. Multi-surface cleaner. This is great. Great, great, great. Speaking of how Suzanne just had this warmth, did you all hear the story of how when she was growing up, she came from a long line of maids and cleaners, and Suzanne would talk often about how much she loved to clean and acknowledge that she did have help, but she also still loved it. And it was an aunt that she believed worked or lived rather in this big, beautiful mansion. And then she said, only to find out that her aunt was the cleaner or the maid there. And she's like, maybe that's why I'm so down to earth. This is what Suzanne was saying about herself. And as she was telling the story, before she even said that, in my mind, I was thinking, she's so down to earth and so relatable. So having come from being a long line of cleaners, cleanliness is important. And I think for a lot of us, we just love to clean. It's something I enjoy doing. It was a chore for me when I was a little girl. I don't know how many of you had chores when you were growing up. I definitely did. Cleaning the bathroom was one of them. Hand washing the dishes, even though dishwashers were around. My parents felt for a very long time that nothing was going to get them as clean as our scrubbing little hands. And I'm grateful for all of them. Now I got a dishwasher, let me tell you. So this cleaner is incredible. And as we take in the toxic burdens that I was talking about at the beginning of the show, that really comes to our liver. And our liver's main job is to help move toxins through. And so it's a no wonder. And again, without, there's not a lot that I'm able to say, but without wanting to burden anything unnecessarily, if we can make a few choices along the way, and once we know better, we're able to do better. This is fantastic. Now I want to share, because typically I'm not great at reading directions. And I was so thrilled that this time I actually did, because this bottle is a big old bottle of concentrate. And for like very, very like hard water spots, as I was just telling you, the iron rim that I was finding in my toilet from moving into an area that has a lot of iron in it, I took this almost full strength and took it, and like what I did is I took it, rubbed it onto a cloth, put it on right above the stain on the toilet, and then flushed and let the water kind of dilute it. And then I rubbed a little more on a cloth, rubbed it on the stain, and I just let it sit. And then like an hour later, I flushed, and then I went in with a brush and it melted away. So that was great. But Suzanne would take around an inch of product. There is over 7 full bottles of cleaner in this one bottle of concentrate. How I've been using it, and I want to hear how all of you have been using it, is I have cleaned my outdoor cushions for my sofa. They had mold, they had mildew, they had staining, they had terrible things on it, all kinds of marks. I was getting ready, and I'm going to be totally transparent, I was getting ready to get out all of my old stuff, my OxyClean, my, I probably shouldn't say other brand names, all my like real strong stain removers. And I thought, I'm not walking the walk and talking the talk right now. Let me give this a shot. And I'm so happy I did. So what I did for my outdoor cushions was I took some of this, I would say half a tub in the sink, and I squeezed it for like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I let the water run. And then I just took all the covers off and I let it soak in there for a good 3 hours before transitioning it into the wash machine. And they came out beautifully. Not perfect. There's, still a couple little things, but they came out really nice. Actually, Garrett, they're sitting on the kitchen table. You see all the white? I just did these. If you want to grab me a couple, I can show you guys. I should have taken a before picture, but it worked really well. So yes. Yeah, I know, weird request, but just because I just did them, I'm going to show y'all. Somebody, Nutty Pumpkin says, I cleaned my floor with it. I love it for my pets. Mine lasted a full year. That's fantastic. Annie says, I admire your tenacity. Thank you. I just cleaned my floors. Streak-free windows with that cleaner, fantastic product. It cleans chandeliers really well because it's so clean rinsing. I've been cleaning my windows, my shower, my tile, my grout. I washed these. Linda, good. I'm so happy that you like the tip. So here's one. Pretty good. And I'm telling you, these were dingy. Now I want to find one that not everything completely came out of. Okay, so this one. So they're small, but you see just a couple little tiny. Is it completely perfect? It wasn't, but it is pretty darn close. So that was great. They're still a little damp actually because I just did this. This one's pretty darn perfect. There was one that was very, very, very molded. I'm sorry. I want to find the one that was very, very dirty. And I want to show you that just for like a level expectation. Yeah, Bonbon. And you know, you're gonna like experiment with it. I got real lucky. There was not really any rhyme or reason. I wasn't super familiar with the concentrate. And I should probably tell you guys what's in it too, but sometimes I feel like that's the one. Thank you. Okay. So is there an expiration date for the product? Not that I see. Not that I see. So I don't see anything. I bet if you scrub those spots, it would come out. You know what? I bet you're right, Betty. I bet you're right. So this one was like black. And I have a very, very high mold sensitivity. There was one of the studios at the shopping network that I worked in. I did a fashion show. And on Saturday mornings, it was called Wake Up in Style. And I always started the show fine. And like halfway through the first hour, I'd feel kind of congested. Into the second hour, I'm sneezing, my nose is running. By the end of the third hour, you would think that I was recovering from the worst cold you had ever seen. Yet nothing had changed. We ended up finding out that there was mold in that studio. So if you're like me and you have a high mold sensitivity, you know how important it is. And even if you don't, it's just important. Like mold is a no bueno. So I'm going to try that. Hi, Stacy. Welcome into the show. Could I ask if they will sell bars of soap? Yes, I will definitely ask the team that. So this cushion, and oh, I wish I would have taken a photo of it, but you're going to still see it had a big spot that was black. And I thought, oh gosh, this is not good at all. And I am going to go and scrub this tonight. So you can even see the shape of it. Now, can you guys see this? Like, there are still a few speckles. This one's still a little damp. There's still some speckle down there. Still some speckle up here. But it was dark. And thank you for the suggestion to go and scrub it because I'm going to circle back and try to do that. Smells so good. Like they smell fantastic. I had mold poisoning. Ooh, gosh, that is terrible. Yeah, my parents had mold in their basement. My mom had some molding too. Time for some new sheets. You know what this is? This is my outdoor cushions. And they sat outside for way too long and they got wet. So I took the covers off. Definitely not my sheets, Josephine. And I am going to scrub these tonight. I'm back tomorrow night for another live. And tomorrow night, I'm going to let you know and show you how it worked for scrubbing. It's a great cleaner. I had some stained white towels and it took it off. Okay, great. So can I ask you, like for me, I put it in and I soaked it, pre-soaked, and then I put it through the wash. Are you putting this in your washer? I don't think so. And now it's the expert asking you all, but I value and appreciate the insight that you all have. And if you've used it longer than me, I'd love to know. Put the concentrate directly on the stain, use the brush, let it sit overnight, and rinse in the AM. Awesome. I'm going to do that. Thank you. Okay, so it's concentrated. What else do I have? You're going to want to add 1 teaspoon of concentrate to 16 ounces of water. I use more than 1 teaspoon. I'm going to tell you, I listened to Suzanne. She said that she would use around 1 inch of it. And I like something that has a little bit of a scent to it. So there's tons of different tips and tricks. And there's a lot of great things online too. So it works on windows, countertops, floors, stovetop, bathroom, dishes, cars, and more. There are no harmful detergents, no petroleum solvents, no ammonia, no chlorine, no nitrates, phosphates, carcinogens, excuse me. There's no alcohol, no parabens, and no animal products. It feels strange because I never read from the notes directly. And that wouldn't use it in the washing machine. Okay, thank you. When will Ocular Renew be back in stock? Karen, I don't know, but let me ask and see if I can address that question for you tomorrow night. Sandy says she likes that it's pet friendly. Me too. Not snake friendly though. Sorry if any of you have a pet snake. If you don't have a pet snake and you want one, I can recommend a cabin in Minnesota where you could find plenty of them. If you're wondering where the heck did that come from, that came from a story I told at the beginning of the show when my family and I got a cabin. My dad got it for all the siblings and all the kids and all the grandkids. And there were snakes, big snakes. Anyways, I digress. Now we've got like the last 5 minutes or so to just kind of chat and connect. So I would love to do that. Put my glasses on. Hi, Sassy Custard. It's okay. You're here. Better late than never. I'm happy to have you. Great to use to clean baby and toddler dishes and toys. Coco is making the funniest face. Coco is my granddaughter, by the way. I've never seen a baby. Coco's birthday is in August. She'll be 1 in August. She's another little Leo like her grandma. I've never seen a baby roll their eyes. Coco gives this face where she goes like this. And she will go. My daughter's like, Mom, I'm telling you, she's one of a kind. Couple updates. Malia had a beautiful baby boy. His name is Bane. Healthy, incredible birth. I'm so proud of her. She did such a great job. My son was there. He's a great coach. So officially a grandma of 7. And thank you. Some of you have sent me messages asking about that. I really appreciate all of those questions. You were going to go take a walk into the shed and the snake was there first. Oh, ooh. Yes, seeing them and just watching the slither, and I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to catch salamanders out of the windowsills, and that I loved. Even today, now I don't think I would touch a salamander. How many pounds was the baby? Baby Bane was 8 pounds, 5 inches. He's got black hair. Y'all want to see a picture? Let me show you a picture. I mean, keep in mind, this is a grandma's eyes. I, of course, think he's beautiful. I'm so grateful. Oh, funny. So just like that, my daughter just sent me a photo of Coco. So here's little Coco. They're up playing bingo. She's the sassy one. You could just tell. Oh, that's my girl. And then, hold on, I'll show you baby Bane. He has this face that he looks like he wants to speak to the manager already, even though yesterday he was 2 weeks old. Look at this baby. That's immediately after she gave birth in the hospital. Let me try to find one with his eyes open. Oh, you guys are so nice. Thank you. I think that Coco looks like a little Gerber baby. Let me see if I got one with his eyes open because he looks exactly like my son. Another little funny family photo. My mom, even though we're all grown up, my mom buys everybody matching pajamas when we go to the cabin. So this is me and Bailey and Gabriella. And that little baby is my sister Abby's little beautiful girl, Penny. Got lots of babies in the family. That's us in our matching strawberry pajamas. And let me see if I can find baby Bane with his eyes open. Here's a full family photo. And this one was cute because this is little Navy, and Navy was the youngest. So you can see she's kind of side-eyeing. And if that's not a happy family of siblings, I'm... you have a 2-month-old. Oh, how wonderful. Yes, that is something to celebrate and just enjoy. Okay, I'm going to go into one more message and then that's enough family photos. I don't want to bore everyone. Quickly, let me find this. See if I can find this picture with his eyes open. He's so alert. This baby was born and like he sleeps pretty well. But what I'm so shocked at is how alert he is. And just, he's so present. Okay. Nope, don't have one with his eyes open, but here he is right after he was born. So baby Bane has joined the family. Navy, isn't that cute? Yeah, Navy is cute. My grandkids' names are one family, 4 babies, 4 kids. Harley is 9, Jagger is 6, Navy is 3, and Bane is 2 weeks. Those are my sons' babies. My daughters got Cash, who's 6, Ford, who's 3, so they both have cousins, and then baby Coco, who will be 1 in August. And that concludes. That's 7 of them. So I want to say thank you. And now this is the part of the show that I have a whole bunch of people. Diana, you just joined the room. And I've been dying to ask people this because as I'm signing off, I will see a flood of people joining in. And I'm just curious if there's like a miscommunication with timing, or if like someone's just running late or they're just catching the tail end of the show. But it seems like every night when I'm saying goodnight, I have a bunch of people that join and then I think, shoot, I'm sad because it's a 1-hour show and I don't get to visit with everyone. Valid Chowder. Yes. Young mom. I was a young mom, young daughter. That's actually one of the first conversations that Suzanne and I ever had was we connected. She was a teen mom with Bruce. A lot of you know that. And I had my oldest daughter when I was 19. And so the first time that we sat down and visited, we ended up connecting about that. And I was so nervous to work with her. And she put her hand on my knee and she squeezed it. And she said, don't worry, kid, you're going to be just fine. So she was wonderful. Thank you for answering that. I worked late, but I had an issue getting on. Oh, good. Valid Charter, what do they call me? They call me grandma. I called my grandmas both grandma. And when the kids came to me and said, what do you want to be called? I was like, grandma. And I love it. Being a mom is a gift. Being a grandma is a gift with a cherry on top. And being with all of you tonight was also a gift. So thank you for spending your night with me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for looking into toxic-free living, more clean living, more chemical-free living. I know that this was a passion for Suzanne, and I'm honored that I was able to continue to share the stories that she shared over the years and show that passion. So thank you. I really appreciate all of you. I'll be back here tomorrow night at the exact same time, and we can catch up a little bit more then. Hope you all have a great evening.